Take 3. Hey everybody, welcome to Marriage Moment. My name is Jason. This is my wife Renee. We're the lead pastor and lead pastor's wife at West Main Baptist Church. Thank you for taking the time to join our little talk on marriage. We're not marriage experts by any means, but we've been married a long time. We've learned a lot of lessons, and we think it's important that we always strive to improve our marriage. And so what we're doing in these weeks is we are following along with the teaching that we're doing on Sunday mornings from 1 Corinthians chapter 13 called What is Love? And we're looking at the application of love that Paul gave the Corinthian church, what it is, what it's not, what it does, what it doesn't do. And then you and I are taking this time to talk about how each one of those things specifically applies in marriage. So this week and last week are pretty similar. Last week was love does not boast. Literally, love does not pompous windbag. I love that. Today, love is not proud. And boasting and pride are very much related. A good way to think about that is that boasting is the fruit that grows on the vine of pride. And in the scripture, the word that Paul uses for pride literally means to puff up, to blow up, to have a big head. It means to have a self-inflated view of yourself, which is kind of a bummer, but it's also kind of the default setting for humanity, and it's something we have to figure out. So let's talk a little bit about what does it mean specifically in marriage that love is not proud.
Okay, so if I go back to what we said last week, because I think it was really important that from the verse in Philippians said that you put yourself aside when you are showing love and not being prideful. So if pride is the attitude, the mindset, and then boasting is the action and the words, pride in a marriage would be almost like that competing and thinking that I am better. I'm not putting myself aside. I am making myself the most important part, like I'm superior. It made me think of the TV show or something that we used to watch where somebody would say, "You think you're better than me?
You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?"
Even if you don't say those words in your marriage, if that is your attitude or something coming from your heart of how you feel, that is going to tear your marriage down.
It's toxic to your marriage.
Yeah. So we have to think about when we're showing love like it's supposed to be at its very best, especially in a marriage. When we do that, this beautiful spirit of humility starts to grow. And I'm sure it would be kind of slow at first if this has been an issue in somebody's marriage and they start to make a change, even if it's one of them making a change of not being prideful, not having that attitude about it's all about me. It can start to grow this beautiful spirit of humility. I totally stole that from marriagemoment.org.
Marriagemoment.org. It's not us, but what a great resource and a really cool title for a marriage focus.
Yeah.
Marriage Moment.
Definitely. But when we have that spirit of humility that grows, it makes us want to encourage each other, serve each other, fulfill each other's needs, because it's no longer just about me.
Right. That's the opposite. Humility and pride don't exist in the same anything.
Right.
So pride is a self-elevated, self-inflated view of yourself. Humility is to see yourself in light of what God was willing to pay for you and what it cost God to love you.
And when we read about this, we realized pride destroys love, but it also goes the other way. Love destroys pride.
Yes, pride definitely destroys love because by definition, pride is to only focus on self. And by definition, love is to focus on someone else. Right. So if you're full of pride, you're killing love in your marriage. But there's hope because the opposite effect is true too. Love kills pride because it makes you take the focus off of you. And so that eventually ends up killing the pride.
Yeah. So let's talk about a prideful marriage and a humble marriage, how they look different.
So I think a prideful marriage would assume we've got it, we figured it out, we're as good as we're going to be, our marriage is there, we don't really need to work on anything, we're good.
Or maybe even that little attitude of, this is just how marriage is.
Yeah, this is just how marriage is.
It's bad.
It's the way it's supposed to be, or the way it is, and it's never going to change. That's a prideful way to view your marriage. A humble marriage would say there's always room to improve. Even if your marriage is as good as it's ever been, a humble attitude towards your marriage would say it could get better, because there's always room for me to improve. And if I improve, it improves our marriage. So there's got to be some humility in the desire to have a growing, changing marriage. Yeah. I think a prideful marriage also, when things are not so good, a prideful marriage says, well, this is nobody else's business. A prideful marriage says, we'll figure this out on our own. A prideful marriage says, this is the way we've always done it, so this is the way we're going to keep doing it. When a humble marriage in a bad season would say, I think we need some help. Let's talk to somebody. A humble marriage invites wisdom into marriage. And some of the best times you and I have spent on our marriage is sitting in front of a counselor and talking and getting somebody else's wisdom to pour into our marriage. And I think a prideful marriage, there's a lot of competition, and there's even a sense of wanting to tear the other person down so that I feel better about myself. Mm-hmm. But a humble marriage seeks to honor each other and to honor God.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about how that looks, how that goes into action. I think about when I'm at work, the way I act and the way I treat people and the way I do my job honors us, our marriage. But when I'm not showing that, not honoring that, and not acting like I should at work, it brings dishonor to our marriage. So I really think about that every day.
Well, love is not proud. It's not puffed up. It doesn't have a self-inflated view of self. It's humble. And I hope that you can instill some humility into your marriage. I think probably just by watching this, you've kind of taken the stance that let's improve our marriage.
Yeah.
And that takes some humility. So good job. We love you. We love your marriage. We think marriage is the most important thing you've got. It's a proven fact by many psychologists that the greatest thing you can do for your family, the best thing you can do for your kids, is have a great marriage. So keep investing in marriage. Thanks for watching Marriage Moment. We'll see you later.
Bye.